Now this weekend we arrive at the British Grand Prix, the team's home race, my home race, and an event where I always want to try and do well. First of all though, if you missed the previous round at Austria, I'll leave a link in the top right, so go check that one out if you haven't done so already. But today, this weekend, overall you can see by the forecast, no rain expected, which is quite surprising. We do have some upgrades on the way and they're going to hopefully help us as we arrive at the midway point of the season. But for this weekend, no changes and the car is exactly the same as the last race in Austria. And speaking of which, the last race, the first one of the season where we didn't score any points. The point streak came to an end in the Austrian Grand Prix. We tried it, but we just didn't have the pace, and yeah, it was a bit of a disappointing weekend. Now this one is going to be no easier because, as you know, Silverstone is the AI's strongest track by far. You can see in the bottom right we have some engine wear, and we are going to look to change the engine heading into qualifying. The only issue is this game is different to last year's game, so let me explain. After practice on F1 2020, you would go to qualifying, but before that, they'd actually take you back out to the main menu, the laptop screen in the motorhome. And I keep forgetting we don't have that this year, so I should have changed the engine in practice, but I forgot, and I keep, I kick myself for it. I keep forgetting to do it, and I keep making the same mistake. So we have to tackle qualifying with the same engine, which is very worn out. So pretty much we're going to take a grid penalty and we're going to start from last place, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a go anyway and see where we would have been. So this was my best lap of qualifying, so let's go for a lap of Silverstone and let's see what I did. So down towards turn 1, absolutely flat out here, important to really open up the corner to minimise, the loss of straight line speed through this section. Turn 4, braking at about 70 metres. Third gear, quickly back up to fourth, and then back down to third again for turn 4. Important here to really focus on your exit and get that low speed rotation to maximise the traction out of here as we go flat out through 5. Down to 6 and 7, Brooklands and Lovefield, braking at about 40 metres before late apex, and then try and open up Lovefield as much as possible. Really important here to rotate the car mid-corner with some braking action and really try and straight line your exit and use the run-off curb. Flat out for a woodcut as we approach Cops, trying to keep it flat, hopefully. Yep, that'll do. Absolutely flat out through there. Lovely stuff. And now into Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. Flat out through the left and the right. Then a bit of a lift and a downshift through the left. And then another downshift in the right where we have to take a bit more of a lift. And then trying to maximise the exit speed, keeping it super tight to the left to minimise meters and time loss. Stowe turn in as the curb appears on the left hand side. We just missed our apex slightly there. Didn't quite get the nose turn in, and then into the final valve chicane. Third gear, short shift to fourth on there, and then short shift to fifth if necessary on the exit as we go through club, and then cross the line and improve by a tenth and a half, and we set at 24.8, which was enough for P17 at the time. And after that we went ahead and changed our engine components, so we are going to take a grid penalty and start from last place for the British Grand Prix here this weekend. You can see confirmation there of all the grid penalties, and yeah, I'll try to make the mistake again. I keep making it and I keep kicking myself, but even then I'm not too bothered about the grid pen. We were never going to get out of Q1 at Silverstone. It's the AI strongest track. It's so tough, and you'll see that now because confirmation here of our final qualifying result as we finish P17 and 7/10 off the next car. So even with a brand new engine, there's no way in hell we are finding 7/10. So yeah, pretty much as best as we could do. Aaron Barnes P22, and yeah, job done for us. But we're now going to move into the race and see if we can try and fight back. It's going to be a last question mark challenge, so let's jump into it and let's absolutely send it and hope for the best.
Welcome along then to Great Britain and the Great Silverstone circuit for today's Grand Prix. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of the Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let me ask you about Aston Martin. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Norris, Max Verstappen and Vettel, Perez, Stroll, Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, Russell, Ocon, Kimi Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, Mazepin, Lundgaard, Pierre Gasly and Mick Schumacher, Latifi, Tsunoda and Martinez. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So here we are then for the race at Silverstone, P22, and pretty much the gloves are off. We are going to try and give it everything, especially on the first lap, to try and make up as many places as possible. It's not been a good weekend so far, and I keep forgetting to change the engine, man, after practice. Like, in last year's game, you could do it before qualifying because you'd actually go all the way back up to the laptop to change it. And you can't do that no more. And I keep forgetting, with the new game, that's the case. So it doesn't matter too much. We've only started P17 anyway, so it's not a lot of difference as we're still quite far towards the back. We're going to start on the soft tyre. That's going to be a big plus for us here today. I'm going to try and stick to the original strategy, which means in this first stint, we need to be aggressive and take full advantage of this compound. Fuel-wise, 26.4. I've gone 0.4 over. I feel like this could be a quite heavy one on fuel consumption, so I'm going to go a bit more on the heavier side because I want to try and push flat out the whole race and do zero fuel saving. So let's jump into it. Let's see what happens. In front of the home crowd, can we try and pull something out of the bag? Let's find out. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Get the revs sorted out. 3 green bars on the throttle for the perfect start. Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what we want to see. Down to turn 1 though, we're going to be a little bit cautious here as there could be a roadblock. Tsunoda getting a great start. We get a warning for a collision with Latifi. We're going to go all the way through here and get past everybody as we wrestle the car through and try to fight back. I'm going to get Mazepin here on the outside as well. Going to put the squeeze on there. What a start up to P15 already. Exactly what we wanted. Got some 3 wide action up ahead. Let's see if we can gain from that and benefit. Giovinazzi's a bit slow here. We're going to have a look up the inside. Oh, that was a bit tight and a bit scruffy, but Giovinazzi moved right at the last second there. But we're committing to this. This is going to be an all or nothing race start here. We're up to P14. Let's see what we're like through Cops. Oh, the understeer is not good. Giovinazzi gets us back straight away. Not much I can do about that. We've got, I think that's Gasly having a look on the outside. I'm just going to stop that from happening real quick. Obviously, the flashbacks are coming back from last year and how the AI are super strong through Cops and also through Stowe as well. But I've just got to try and firm it. And the S section as well, now I think about it. But, oh well, it is what it is. We'll have to just try and work around it, be faster everywhere else. But end of lap 1, up to P15. 7 places gained. Don't mind if I do. I think we're going to make it 8 right now as we try to get Giovinazzi on the run to turn 3. Here we go. Let's see if I can get him here. Slight little lift there. Not fully confident yet. Quite far back from Giovinazzi there. I was going to go up the inside, but we didn't really get close enough. But through here, we can definitely go for it. There we go. P14. What a start. We're right in this race now. Exactly what we needed to do. Left rear on 106. Probably not ideal. I've put my brake price on 56. Now I moved it towards the front to see if I can get the left rear to cool off a little bit. I'm just trying to stay within Raikkonen's DRS, but it's proving to be a little bit difficult. But we're not going to give up. I will say this, we seem to be pretty slow on the straight. I don't have a lot of straight line speed to really fight with. I'm just relying on cars ahead to battle. Right now we've got both Ferraris and both Alpines here running line astern with Raikkonen tucked in. I'm trying to not lose too much ground, but it's proving to be a little bit difficult. I may have to tactically let Gasly go past and use him as a slingshot to try and bridge the gap between us. So I'm thinking we try to let Gasly by. It's just a pointless exercise. We need to connect to that train up ahead. That's where we need to be. So I don't want to let Giovinazzi pass. We'll try and just stick ahead of Gasly for now. Giovinazzi haven't looked up the inside anyway. Look at the downforce he has, man. He can just keep the front end tucked in there. I don't want to let him go by though. So we're going to just take the inside and let him know what's up. Oh, that was bad through there. Getting sideways, and I've lost ground to Pierre. We're going to have to drain to keep up. Come on. Typical, the minute I let Gasly go by, the guys ahead battle. And I'm not even going to be able to hang on to the train here, because Gasly's running engine mode, so I think this hasn't worked out for us. We're going to drop out of the DRS range again. I just can't keep up right now. Pace is very, very, very strong from the AI. Just got to keep hoping they battle, lose time, and we can gain back up. But I need a bit of luck, I really do.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Oh, that wasn't track limits.
Understood, copy that.
Whatever, man. Track limits warning. So that was very, very close. I mean, I've run wider than that and I've not had a warning, so whatever, man. Trying to keep up here. Gap is 1.3.
Some information on Mazepin. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Why does it have to be a car that's behind me, man? God.
Green flag.
Green flag, though. Let's see what happens. That means there's a yellow. I'm just trying to focus on myself here and trying to close the gap to these guys. I'm literally on the limit every single corner. I just can't get back within a second. Come on. Oh, this is so frustrating. I'm trying to avoid not getting too annoyed, but this track is so strong for the AI. That yellow is still out there, but it looks like Mazepin has pit, so I'm guessing probably a puncture for him. So no safety car. You watch. Right now, I'm thinking of letting Giovinazzi go by because I can't keep this pace up and I'm using my battery. But you watch, the minute I let him go, I bet the 4 cars up ahead start battling like crazy, just like before. But let's let Giovinazzi go. I just can't afford to use all my battery for no reason at all, because I'm literally dropping off. I may as well just try and hold on to someone's DRS. It'd be far more efficient for me. Snowder's going to try and get the 2 for 1. You know what, mate? Just go through as well. I'm just going to try and follow you two. That's what I'll do. See if we can make that happen. Maybe not. Snowder's going to go defensive and cost us both a load of time. Come on, Yuki. Go, go, go. Drive. So some cars are pitting this lap. Let's see if anyone from our kind of group of cars is going to pit. One of the Ferraris pit as well. As we get more notifications from the MFD.
Condition is still looking good.
Well, if it's looking good, then don't flash up the MFD, man. I don't need to know. Tyres can last forever around here, so we don't need to be concerned about tyre wear. It's about timing and when to pit at the right time. So we'll see. I believe both Alphas are still out there, so we'll stay out at least another lap. As long as I've got DRS, I'm staying out. Let's see who pits this time around. Sonoda pits. Giovinazzi stays out, which is perfect. I've got to try and stick with him. I can't drop out of DRS range, so we're going to use and close into that gap Sonoda was occupying. And this is now going to be our in lap.
Pit window open. Let's box this lap.
So let's use the ERS, let's use everything we have, and Giovinazzi's DRS to try and have a strong in lap. Just trying to stay close to Gio through here. To be fair, we're a lot better this year through COPs and the S's, but we're still dropping a 1/10 and a half, 2 tenths. You know, it's pretty bad. On for a personal best though, as we use this extreme from the Alpha, who's presumably running full engine power on his in lap. We're now going to box, here we go. It'll all slow down to the 60, and there we go, very good entry, and we may have a chance of jumping Giovinazzi here, probably not, but let's see if we're lucky. So the lead pack's going to drive by now. If there was a time for a sub 2 second stop, this would be it. We're still in the race, but I need a bit of luck, some retirements, some battles, you know, a few things go away, and we might have a chance of points. Realistically, probably not, but you never know. I'm going to try and stay hopeful.
Go, exit now.
Did I get it? Yes, I did.
Exit now.
Yes, we've jumped him, and I missed the pull away as well. I timed it terribly wrong, but we've done it. So let's try and push it.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Gonna push straight away out the pit exit. Here comes Sonoda. Sonoda's on the hard tyre, by the way, so contrasting strategies here. Giovinazzi's behind Sonoda, so let's see if we can switch this tyre on straight away. I'd love to drop Yuki out of the 1 second window ASAP, but I'm not sure how likely that is. Giovinazzi's going to try and pass him, so this might be our opportunity to try and open a gap here straight away. So we're pulling away from Gio, I think, up to 1.5. I'm closing in on Kimi, who's on the hard tyre, so at the minute this is working okay. If I can get into Kimi's DRS before Gio gets into mine, we can keep pushing that gap forward, and we'll try and fly past Kimi and then drop him as well. Another warning for track limits. I'm pretty sure that wasn't, but we're now on 2 warnings, so I've got to be extra careful for the rest of the race now. Absolutely flying this lap though.
Okay, Okay, some information on Raikkonen. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Well, that's going to make things a lot easier for us. Let's try and pass him on the hanger straight if his issues are that bad. Let's see. So far, he looks okay to me. Doesn't seem to be struggling, but I think I should be close enough here to pass him with DRS, ERS and straight line speed. Here we go. Coming through, sunshine. Let me go in my race. A bit of wide there as we missed the apex completely, but we're through and they're battling up ahead. Both Alpines. Let's keep this up. That pace is very strong right now on these tyres. What a fantastic lap. It's not going to be a personal best, but we're matching it, and that was without any DRS, and we're closing in on the Alpines. So if they can just battle a little bit more, we can try and get within their DRS.
Some information on Latifi. They are out of the race.
Will we get anything from that? Looks like it won't. We haven't had a safety car in ages, man. I don't think we've had one this season. Very interesting. So Latifi out, but nothing comes from it, so we keep going. I need these two to start battling now. I'm starting to run out of ERS, so I need, to lose a little bit of time so I can just get within a second. Feels great to have the pace for once and be the hunter rather than be the hunted. I am running very thin now on energy, but the gap is 1.2. I've almost got it. I'm so close. I'm pushing as much as I can here, but I think we might get it next lap if I'm lucky. Personal best this one, and this is without DRS. 25.2, gap is just under 1.2 seconds. If I can nail these first 3 corners, this could be the lap. We've done it, we've got it. Even through cops, we still managed to get DRS. That is crucial. Now we can have a couple of laps to try and charge up our battery as Ocon goes for the move on Russell. Doesn't quite pay off. That's going to help us even more now, so we can try and save a bit of ERS while we're behind them. We charge pretty quickly around here, so if I can beat both Alpines, I'll be very happy. Oh, we got a yellow further back, I think. Bit late now for a safety car, or even a virtual safety car. Battery's slowly charging up. I think it's Sonoda who's had an issue.
Green flag.
There we go, Sonoda out of the race. Not that really affects our race, but still, there's confirmation of it. I'm just trying to charge up my ERS to 100%, or as close as I can get it, whilst following the 2 French cars, and we'll see if we can make something happen in the next lap or so, because we're approaching that stage now where the AI tend to use maximum engine power for the last 2 laps, so I need to try and get in before that happens. Ooh, Ocon's going to go for it again. This time they're both side by side.
3 laps of fuel remaining.
Russell's just going to hold on. This will help me close the gap. Russell in a bit hot at the final chicane there. If we can get them both now, that would be perfect. So we've got enough ERS, so I'm going to try and make this happen. Let's see what happens here. Back end is super unstable on my car. As you can see right there, I was thinking about going for the move into turn 4, but never mind. Can we get Ocon here maybe? It would be nice. We're going to gain a Russell as well. I'm going to go to the outside, there's more space. Yes, get in there, Lewis, come on. Lovely. 1 down. 1 to go. Still got loads of ERS here. I've just got to try and keep it through cops. That was perfect. Ocon nowhere near getting the run. Oh, the dirt here is horrible through there. Now we can get Russell. Here we go. Let's see what we have on the straight. Oh yes, Russell was low on energy. He's got nothing left. We're going to breeze past. Even take the race in line before the corner. Right, let's try and pull away. 2 laps to go. Can we do this? Do we have the pace to drop the Alpines? Hopefully if they battle this for like a corner, we can drop them. I've got so much energy, so let's push and give it everything we have. Massive middle sector from us, 2 tenths up. Russell try and close in, but he's got nothing. I think we can hold on to this. I've got enough ERS that I can bring this one home. So let's focus up. We're safe through cops. Just got to get it through the S's. Then Ricciardo wins from McLaren. A little bit scruffy there. Russell's going to be on us. I'm on a personal best. I've got no more pace left. But we've got plenty of battery to deploy to try and defend. Russell tries to go on the outside. I'm going to fight back though on the inside. There we go. Getting the inside line, covering it off, and we've done it. What a drive. No points, but one of our best ever drives in this series so far for P12. Happy with that.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the British Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
Well then, there we go. That's it for the British Grand Prix, and Daniel Ricciardo picks up the win. It was actually quite a strong performance. He won by 6 seconds over Lewis Hamilton. He also got the fastest lap, so Daniel showing his pace here today around Silverstone. Mercedes, both cars on the podium, Lando Norris P4, so those two locked in that battle well and truly moving forward. Verstappen P5 for Red Bull, just missing out on the top 4, top 3 battle. He was just at the back of it. Perez P6 ahead of Aston Martin's Sebastian Vettel and Aston Martin's Lance Stroll. And then both Ferraris round out the points here today in the top 10. Missing out on the points, we have Gasly, myself, Russell, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Schumacher, Raikkonen, Lundgaard, Barnes, Mazepin with Tsunoda and Latifi out of the race. So overall, a very, very, very strong performance. I've got to say, one of my best, if not probably my best ever Silverstone race. In terms of consistency in an offline race, very happy with that. We held on during the soft tyre phase, bit unlucky at times I felt like with the timing of me letting drivers past and then drivers battling, but we fought back so hard on the mediums to catch up and pass both Alpine cars, so I'm very happy with that, very proud of it. No points for the second race in succession, but hey ho, it is what it is. We're still P6, which is absolutely insane. Hamilton leads as Ricciardo takes P2 and Norris still chilling in P3. Elsewhere, Stroll overtaken by Perez, his former teammate, and Sebastian Vettel just 6 points behind us in the Drivers' Championship. Now in the Constructors, we are still P5, and Ferrari, although they got both cars in the points today, it was only P9 and P10, so minimal damage done to us in terms of the Constructors' battle, so we still hold on to a top 5 place, but Mercedes and McLaren locked in with 7 points separating both teams. Either way guys, that's going to be it from me here today. We're now going to move into upgrades.
How are the fans at your home Grand Prix treating you?
It was awesome. Loved it. So much fun, and you know, it's a massive help for sure.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy?
I think we just pushed flat out, simple as that. We gave it everything, and yeah, the engine, the car, it all worked together.
It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it?
Well, I hope so, but we keep working, we're not done, and you know, we all put in a lot of work, but we've got to keep pushing.
Do you have any comments about the collisions?
I don't know. I think it was okay.
Appreciate your time.
Well, after the race, we look at the rivalry breakdown, and Sergio Perez again has a pretty strong weekend, picking up a few extra points. So, you know, to be expected, we weren't ever going to realistically challenge Perez, at least not in these races at the mid-stage. Now, elsewhere, we have a quick look, and acclaim-wise, no major changes. As like I said before, we kind of hit a stage now where it's hard to really make a difference in just one event. Sponsor payouts, though, if we jump into those, we actually didn't have the best weekend, to be honest, and to go with that, we also didn't have the best weekend in terms of damages. So, yeah, overall, not ideal, but still a decent amount of cash flow moving into the next race. So we've got quite a few things to get through. First of all, Equinox want a renewal, and I'm very happy to oblige. They've been pretty good to us so far. Elsewhere, activities. Now, we've got quite a gap to the next race, so we're going to go ahead and I think secondary sponsor venue opening. Sounds pretty interesting, but we'll go first of all for a power team building, then we'll go for the secondary sponsor, then we'll go for the visit sponsor headquarters. It's all helping Team Acclaim, so I'm more than happy to do it. We've got quite a few upgrades coming through this time, so I'm tempted to not buy anything and hope all of the upgrades arrive. We've got the lightweight wheel rims, the piston rings, the control electronics, and the front wing as well, all before the next race. So I feel like if we go for an upgrade, it can't be a super expensive one. It's got to be one on the slightly cheaper side. So if we look at what we have available to us, what about the chassis? Maybe there's a semi-cheap one. Tyre blankets, that could be an option. Powertrain, I feel like this is where I want to be. Fuel technology. Okay, I'll go for that. I'll go for this one. It's a little cheap one. It's not too expensive, and it'll just improve. It'll help us a little bit going into the power circuits. So let's skip ahead. Let's see if all of these upgrades arrive. And there we go then. Job done for us as everything has arrived. So we're looking very good heading into the next race at the Hungaroring. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, then leave a like. Let's try and smash over 1,200 likes for that recovery drive from P22 to P12, along with, I've got to say, some very strong race pace from me around Silverstone, around the AI's possibly strongest track. Subscribe for more, guys. It really helps me out on the road to 100k. And finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me. Adios.